On February 13, 2017, two best friends, 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German, set out to enjoy a mild winter afternoon in the small town of Delphi, Indiana. The girls planned to hike along the scenic Monon High Bridge trail, a popular local destination known for its old railroad bridge stretching high above Deer Creek. It was supposed to be a carefree afternoon. Instead, it became one of the most heartbreaking criminal cases in modern American history.
Before disappearing, Liberty used her phone to capture photographs during the hike. One image showed Abby walking across the aging railroad bridge. It would become one of the final photographs ever taken of her. When the girls failed to arrive at their arranged pickup location later that afternoon, family members immediately became concerned. A search began before sunset. Volunteers, friends, and police searched the trails throughout the evening. But the girls could not be found.
The following day, search teams discovered the bodies of Abby and Libby in a wooded area not far from the bridge. The quiet town of Delphi was devastated. Investigators immediately launched a homicide investigation that would attract worldwide attention. But what made the case extraordinary was something the killer never expected. Liberty German had captured evidence on her cell phone.
Police later released a short video recovered from Liberty's phone. It showed an unknown man walking toward the girls on the bridge. Investigators also released a brief audio recording in which a man's voice could be heard saying, "Guys, down the hill." Those few words became some of the most recognizable pieces of evidence in modern criminal investigations. Millions of people watched the video. Millions listened to the recording. Yet no one could identify the man with certainty. He became known simply as Bridge Guy.
The investigation generated enormous public interest. Authorities received tens of thousands of tips from across the United States and beyond. Police released different suspect sketches over the years, conducted hundreds of interviews, and repeatedly appealed to the public for help. Despite the video, the audio, and the intense media attention, the killer remained unidentified. For 5 years, the case appeared to have reached a dead end. Families waited. The community mourned. And investigators refused to give up.
In 2022, investigators re-examined earlier evidence and identified local resident Richard Allen as a suspect. Allen had spoken with law enforcement shortly after the murders and acknowledged that he had been on the trail that day. As investigators revisited old interviews, witness statements, ballistic evidence, and other information, the case took a dramatic turn. Allen was arrested and charged with the murders.
The trial began in 2024 and drew national attention. Prosecutors presented evidence that included witness testimony, forensic evidence, and Allen's own statements made while in custody. The defense challenged key parts of the prosecution's case and maintained Allen's innocence. After hearing weeks of testimony, the jury reached its decision. Richard Allen was found guilty of murdering both girls.
In December 2024, Allen was sentenced to 130 years in prison, receiving consecutive sentences for the murders of Abby and Libby. The conviction brought legal accountability after nearly 8 years of investigation, though Allen's legal team has continued to pursue appeals. For the families, the verdict marked the end of one chapter, but not the end of their grief.
The Delphi case is remembered not only because of its long investigation, but also because of Libby's extraordinary presence of mind. Her decision to record the man approaching them provided investigators with crucial evidence that ultimately became a central part of the case. Though it did not immediately identify the killer, it ensured that investigators had a voice, an image, and a trail that would remain alive throughout the investigation. Today, Abby and Libby are remembered by their families and community not for the tragedy that ended their lives, but for the joy, friendship, and promise they shared. The murders transformed the quiet town of Delphi. For years, residents lived with uncertainty, wondering when, or if, the person responsible would be identified. The eventual conviction demonstrated the persistence of investigators who continued reviewing evidence long after the case had gone cold. It also served as a reminder that advances in investigative work, careful re-examination of evidence, and determination can eventually bring justice. What began as an ordinary afternoon walk became one of America's most closely followed murder investigations. Two friends set out to enjoy nature. One cell phone quietly recorded the final moments before a terrible crime. Years passed. Questions remained. But unlike many famous mysteries, this story eventually reached a courtroom. The lives of Abby Williams and Libby German can never be restored. Yet after years of uncertainty, the person found responsible was brought to justice, bringing long-awaited answers to a community that had searched for them for nearly a decade.